1, 2, 3. The 3 is supposed to mean take it away. Okay. Is there a delay or something?
I don't know. I saw you wobble and I dropped mine and I was like, oh wait, she hasn't dropped hers yet.
I count. Never mind. Hi, welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
I was about to say that's your line, Liz. I have
only been doing this for 3 weeks.
I have therapy in the morning, so we're because Labor Day is taking the spot, so we're filming on Labor Day from our houses, and I'll probably just put this right up, you know, surprise people early. Woo. Won't make them wait till tomorrow. I don't know. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in downtown Brevard, North Carolina, but we're not there because it's not Tuesday morning, and the weather is quite nice where I'm living right now.
Yeah, it's nice where I'm at. I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
Sorry, I took so long. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna oh, he doesn't look happy. I have to take a photo of this so you all can see. This is my cat is right next to the computer right now. And I don't know what mood he'll be in for the rest of this filming, but yes, we couldn't leave you deprived without a Tuesday-ish, Monday-ish sideshow. So this is it. Oh, and he just flipped over completely on his head, which means that maybe he's more comfortable. Nope.
Maybe.
He hates having a picture taken. So I'm trying to get one of these to be like I put up stuff on social media for Sit and Stitch, and it's usually the cat. And I'm trying to get a cute picture of the cat for Sit and Stitch advertising for tomorrow without drawing blood, which could be interesting. Okay. So yeah, we were like, let's do it after dinner. And then I got caught up doing something, and then other stuff happened, and we're probably going to go to bed not long after we film this. So, but at my house, the Wi-Fi, I think, is stronger, so we can get it up faster. So I can get to bed. Although Labor Day, supposed to take a break. I kind of did. I didn't do my tips and tricks today because it was going to be way too much.
Yeah.
But, it helped not to go into town for therapy because then I had time to do things at home and not feel super pressured and rushed. I at least got the newsletter out today, but I haven't done laundry yet. And I still have to clean up from making dinner. My adventures in cooking require a little more cleanup today, but, and I would have laundry going right now, so I don't have to stay up forever in a day, but it's a small house. You'd hear it in the background.
well, the video is processing, and you know.
Yeah, I can try to. It means I may not have it dry before I go to bed, but we'll see. Anyway, you people out there in YouTube land don't really care about that, right? So I was trying to figure out what to bring up here because I didn't want to bring all of my projects up here. And honestly, this weekend was so crazy. Like the weekend being Saturday in terms of the being open for the shop, that I don't have a whole lot. I have a little bit of progress to show off from the past couple of days, but not a lot because we were tired.
Oh my God. We didn't have
any time at the shop and we were tired.
Saturday was a thank you all Vikings very much. Lots and lots of Vikings.
Thank you all, but oh my gosh, storming the castle.
Yes.
Like the gangplank came down and it never went back up again. And woo, I think my family was asking, well, why do you think it was like that? I guess Labor Day. I don't know.
I'm guessing a combo of Labor Day and some people wanted to stay out of Hendersonville. I mean, there's all kinds of theories, but I'm guessing probably Labor Day because there
people wanted to stay out of Hendersonville.
There's the Apple Fest, so they figured.
But wouldn't people go to that?
Well, they would. Well, like somebody brought up that if they wanted to avoid that many people, they just go over and check out Brevard.
Yeah, or they
Like,
checked out Hendersonville and had their fill. Because I was
yeah,
wondering if we were getting overflow from the Apple Festival in Hendersonville as well. Yeah, so
I don't know. There was a lot of people.
I
So
keep trying to pet the cat, thinking he's calmed down, and he keeps saying no. There were a lot of people, and I drove through town yesterday, and there were a lot of people in town still. So, yeah, a lot of people. Both good and bad, with all that. So, we didn't get anything done Saturday in terms of getting advancing on projects, right? That was the cat just bumping my computer because he's decided he's no longer happy chilling anywhere near me. Off he goes. So, so sometimes, excuse me, woo, sometimes that's how we greet people as we're sitting outside knitting. Like Saturday is a day to greet people as they come in. And when it's slow, maybe actually work on projects at the shop. And that did not happen this Saturday.
and sometimes we have a couple of hours, no more than that, but like a couple hours in the morning when people are at the farmers market or wherever before they really come into town that we can get some knitting done. And
I
that
want to
didn't happen.
say it picked up at like, oh, I forgot to turn on the light behind me. That would make this look not so like spooky. I'm gonna go do that. But we had like an hour and a half in the morning, and we maybe got a brief respite around lunchtime, and that was it.
We had enough time to eat our sandwich and part of our drink.
Yeah, and you even didn't get there.
I didn't finish all my Cheetos.
You didn't get to finish your Cheetos, your puffs.
My peas puffs. Yeah.
But we got to see Anne. We got to
Mhm.
see one of our virtual sit and stitchers who is not local, but she made the haul. She was really far away, and then she moved a little closer, and then she drove hours to see us and shop with us, and it was so much fun. Yay!
And
Such
Harriet,
fun.
who was in town for the
And
weekend.
Harriet, yes,
Yeah.
who is sometimes in town and
Yep.
often is a virtual sit and stitcher with us, which, by the way, shameless plug, sit and stitch tomorrow. Well, depending on when you watch this, Tuesday night. I'm hoping to publish this on Monday night, but Tuesday night from 6 to 9 p.m. we do have virtual sit and stitch on Zoom with the shop phone number.
828-877-3550.
I forget that I'm looking at a mirror image of myself. Yeah, I'm looking at a mirror image of myself, so I have to point that way to point at Liz, but when this records, it's going to flip me, so I have to point at the open air, and actually it will look like I'm pointing at Liz. I'm going to see if I remember that for next time. So that's tomorrow night, and then the next time we film, I'm getting this out of the way now, Liz.
That's fine.
The next time we film is going to be Wednesday morning, hopefully, and that will be a VSC, and we'll show you all kinds of fun things that we want to have on sale this week. Right now, things that to hold your yarn, like the Yarnet, are still on sale until Wednesday. So there's a few things. If you go to our shop site and you look at products of the week, you can see everything that's on sale. Should all be there if I've done my magic right. So yeah, and then Thursday we'll do a Dear Becky and Lizzy. If we have a Dear Becky and Lizzy question, I don't think we have any right now.
So far we don't.
I think we've cleared the docket. So if you have a question that you want us to wax philosophical about that relates to knitting and crochet, other subjects we may not be able to do anything with. At this point, I would probably, especially because of the holiday, I would probably email. And you're going to email
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
There you go. Okay, cool. And then we have another sit and stitch on Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and it's not this weekend, but I believe it might be in 2 weekends. It's September 19th, I think, is going to be our afternoon sit and stitch on both Facebook and Zoom. So September 19th, stay tuned for more details about that. Or it might be in the description. I can't remember if I put that in the description. It's on social media. It's on Facebook. So, yeah. So Liz, what, if anything, do you have to show off for us for this Monday/Tuesday?
I'm currently working on row 8. that won't show it. I'm working on row 17 on Micaiah's Papillon.
Nice. That's pretty.
And I finished today, like all I did was dye my hair and do one row on the Papillon. It was sad.
That's
I should have been
okay.
doing much more. I did row 19 or stripe 19 without the contrast on my mom's.
That's on your mom's. Okay. And that one is more gray tones and stuff. The other one looks blue to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Micaiah's is based off of July.
That's right.
Dierdre Uys. And my mommy's is black and gray and then olive drab. It's her favorite colors.
Her favorite colors. There you go. Yeah. I was gonna say, I was gonna follow up on your, well, you only dyed your hair and did a little bit on your Papillon, but that means in theory you rested kind of, maybe, right?
I went to Sam's and the grocery store this morning. Like I woke up at 9:30. So I was like, I guess I should go do that. And it was very peoply by then. I should have woken up early, but then a nap would have been involved. And I don't know. I didn't, but
got head-butted by the cat.
Oh.
We're gonna see if that stays head-butting or if it gets worse. Yeah, I avoided the grocery store today.
It was very people
out. There's a couple things I probably need, but it was Labor Day weekend. I'm no.
Yeah, it was people-y.
It was people-y. I'm sorry.
Very people-y. I, went after 10 o'clock in the morning, so that was
not a good idea. I feel like everyone in this neighborhood, because there are a few VRBOs and stuff in this neighborhood, I feel like everyone at 10 o'clock was like, time to go. Whether it was just to like go out for the day or whether it was today's our travel home day. Like they had an extra weekend day, but today was their travel home day, like the place across the street. Everybody cleared out and they looked like they were packing up to just go home, but that was 10 o'clock. I did my morning meditation kind of late this morning because I actually tried to sleep in, which more just lying in bed saying, I don't want to get up.
that is still considered sleeping in.
Okay. I don't have experience with sleeping in, so I can't judge that,
Anything that keeps you in bed, like just laying there is still rest for your body. You'll be fine.
I'll take your word for it. Okay. I didn't feel very rested. I just felt kind of but okay.
Well, that's okay. That's, you didn't want to get up and be productive and, so you stayed in bed. You're good.
Kitty. Oh, he's about to plop on the, no. Hey. Oh, now he's mad at me.
Oh. We
he
might
just lay down on top of two of the projects I brought up here to show off.
Not a thing.
So I'm gonna have to start with the other one. Are you done with your stuff for now?
I have no other stuff. I was unproductive. Completely.
Okay, anyone who's gonna write a comment on this, tell her that's okay because
I know that's okay. Someone else doesn't. It's okay.
I feel like we're reaching our limit of energy or at least me, so I can only imagine you are in terms of being able to, run the shop and do things and stuff without a break.
Well, we had a lot of knitters who were coming in this week who had lost their knitting mojo during the pandemic. And I mean, I've had bits of that, but I think we're both kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, knit for a year and a half straight, trying to, show off our projects and stuff. And
now I have all these unfinished projects and I want to finish them. And I'm just like, all these people saying, I don't know how you get stuff done. And I'm like, I don't know either. And I don't think I'm stalling out completely, but I'm starting to slow down on some of them. Like a lot of the shawls I've been chugging through, they all look the same as they did a week or two ago right now.
Yeah.
But I'm really getting caught up in the crochet along, which my cat is now plopped right on top of and grumpy. So I will show everybody that before the end of this episode. But the only one I have free right now, which I can tell stories about, is this one. This is my
Ooh.
No Frills Sweater that I started ages ago because I wanted to show off how the color changing mohair we had just brought into the shop. Oh, he's already up and off. Yay. Yay for short attention spans. I wanted to show off what the color changing mohair would do. And I thought, what better way to do that than to engage in the trend of holding a mohair with a fingering weight yarn, which is very popular right now, and do just a basic sweater. And this is PetiteKnit's No Frills Sweater. And it's got, look, it's got raglan sleeve seams. And one of the reasons we're not filming as early as I had hoped, we didn't stick to my own schedule. I broke my own schedule, is I was really, really close to sleeve separation. So I did it. I have the sleeves. Like this is the row. I just finished the row of sleeve separation. So here's one sleeve and here's another sleeve. And there's the torso. I'm so excited.
It looks good.
I know, isn't it cool? So I took, speaking of yarnets, little hamster wheel that we can keep our mohair in, right?
Yeah.
I took the colorway called retro. Like I wasn't sure which color to pick, right? And we have like ones that are all like greens and ones that are all warm fiery colors, and we have a rainbow color that's just gorgeous. And I kind of knew those would all just sell themselves. So sorry, I looked around because I don't know where the cat is, and that's usually a dangerous thing. Anyway, so I picked this one called Retro. And it's got like light green and pink and dark blue, like indigo and a lighter blue. Yeah. And so this is what it looks like. They're what, 50 gram skeins, I think. This is what it looks 50. Like in the skein. Yep. I just, not literally, but I very, very recently started the second skein of this. I finally kicked a skein. And just before I kicked a skein of that, I'm holding it with Cascade Heritage, Heritage Silk White, because I figured nice way to just show it off, right? Is to just take a neutral, an absolute neutral. But here, so I'm not gonna be able to hold this all up right. Mohair, and here's what it looks like knit with the white, and holding mohair with a fingering weight or any weight yarn, it's really kind of cool because it shows off the color, but it'll have kind of a modeled, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Marl. Thank you. We both hit it at the same time. So there's spots where you'll see more white showing through. And then there's spots in this skein where it's kind of white, like right in here. Like I've gotten through, I started with the deep indigo, which doesn't look as deep when you're combining it with white. And I'm just heading back into the deep indigo for the third time, basically. 1, 2, heading into it for the third time. And you can tell as this got wider for the sleeves, the stripes got thinner because the color's changing faster because it's going over a larger number of stitches. I was up to like, I'm having some issues with stitch count right now because I was supposed to get to like 434 or 36 or something. And then the sleeve separation, the stitch counts didn't quite match up with that, but I'm going to worry about that after we film.
Okay.
It's close enough. It was only off by a couple stitches, and that's not going to make this not fit right. So I will tell you that the story of this morning is I was going to do my morning meditation on this piece, and I did. And I thought, I'm kind of close to being done with my first skein. I ran out of my first skein of Heritage Silk probably about 4 or 5 rounds ahead of running out of this one. In fact, let's see. I've got, here's where I changed Heritage Silk. It's just, you know, about an inch away from where I am. And let's see if I can find, it's not going to be in the same spot, right? But let's see if I can find, aha. Trying not to have my stitches. I need stitch stoppers, Liz. You know where I can find some good stitch stoppers?
Nope. We sold quite a few pairs of stitch stoppers this week too.
Did.
People are looking for them.
Here is where I changed mohairs. It's only, it's more like a half an inch down from the top.
Okay.
This is so slippery. I'm trying not to have it fall off. So it's about half an inch down from where I am instead of an inch down. So they usually, when we have 25, like our solids come in 25 gram skeins, the mohair, right? And your rule of thumb is like 2 skeins of that to 1 skein of fingering weight. And
it's because
50 gram skein.
The sugar bush rapture is closer to like 219 yards.
Drizzle.
So it comes out to just about the same as a fingering weight ball of yarn.
Yes, and I just corrected you because the rapture is not the mohair, the drizzle is.
Oh, not the rope. Yeah, sorry.
I knew what you meant, and I'm saying it in case anyone's taking notes. And both of those are probably going to go the way of the dodo in the next like 4 to 6 months because we can't get any more anyway. But
yeah,
yes, so these, it was almost 1 for 1. You know, like I've started both of these within the past, you know, inch on my sweater. But that I got this much of the sweater done, right?
Yeah.
With 1 skein of each is pretty impressive. And I'm expecting now that I start the torso that the stripey part of it is going to elongate again or be a little bit thicker. And the stripes on my sleeves, whenever I actually get around to those, are going to be longer still. Like they're not going to be matchy. It's not like my sleeves are going to stripe at the same speed as my torso.
They're going to have longer stripes because they're narrower widths.
The sleeves right now are like 89 stitches. And I want to say the torso is rough estimate 120 or so.
Okay.
So they're not far away from each other, but they're definitely not the same diameter. I recall all the time when I would make pieced sweaters, like 4 different pieces and sew it together, back, front, 2 sleeves. And I do the back and I do the front, and then I'd be like, oh, good, it's the sleeves. They're smaller, they'll go faster. But they're almost as wide as the front and the back. So, you know, this will be a good experiment. We're going to see what happens. But, back to my story. So I didn't have all that much left of my first skein of this, but probably enough to do morning meditation. But I was just like, let me just wind up this other skein I have, because then it'll be there and it'll be ready in case I should have taken some picture evidence of what happened. So I'm like, then it'll be ready and it won't take long. And then my morning meditation will be done. So I have, and I would, let's see if I can do this. I know that's a really bright light, but there's my winding station right behind this really bright light is my umbrella swift and my winders. I have 2 winders right there. And I start chugging away on my little royal winder. And there were a couple times it felt like it kind of caught or did something funny, or like the tension seemed weird. And I'm like, it's okay. But I forget why, but I started to like rewind it because it wasn't coming out right. So I took it off I took my little skein off the winder and I started pulling from the center to rewind it. Cause I'm like, this is okay, but it's really not great. And it doesn't look that good. And I can relieve some of that tension that just happened. So I pulled from the center of the ball of the cake I made, and I started rewinding, and then it got stuck. And I was like, So I stopped winding and I gave it a yank. And a really big amount of yarn barf came out. And I went to wind again and it was still stuck though. And then another, like it was like Russian nesting dolls of yarn barf coming out of the skein. Because and I don't wound like this much.
You ignored the few wibbly wobblies. Like you can't I wind yarn.
It wasn't I know, but it wasn't like at the shop where it's like, oh, that went wrong, I should stop. It was just like, huzzah.
Yep, but anytime there's a question when you're winding yarn, anytime something feels the slightest bit different, it means it's different, and that's not cool.
Oh, but I was so proud of myself. Okay, so it was like Russian nesting dolls. I had a little bit on the winder, and then I had a barf, and I had a bigger barf, and they were all interconnected, and then there was the end chunk, and I was just like, oh, this is such a hot mess. Oh my gosh. But I kept my cool. And I said, okay, this isn't going to get untangled. I'm going to start going from the other end. So I popped the little, so my Russian nesting dolls are just lined up and kind of interconnected by a few yarn barfy tangles. And it took time, but I started going from the outside. And so then I had my skein sitting there and it was like spooling off the outside. And I hit a point again where everything was a hot mess and, but I didn't pull anything tight, like each tangled between the little nesting dolls. I started looking for loops because this is also a very slippery yarn with the silk in it and everything. But I was like, okay, it's not knotted. It's like there's outside pieces that have been pulled through the inside of others. And I untangled it all. It took probably a good 20 minutes or so. It took less time than I thought it would. But this is the result. I have, I didn't have to cut it. I was very proud of myself.
It's like drop stitches. Just yell and scream all you want. Don't pull anything.
I had to find the loops that actually could be pulled through, like instead of just pulling until things got tight. I said, okay, this loop can come out. And it ended up like you could find this, the piece that was going through all of them. That was the center. Yeah. And then once I untangled it enough, I could get it to where it was probably one loop that was really the outside of that little nesting doll that had been pulled through the center. That if I could untwist it, because everything kind of twists like this around when you're winding, if I could untwist it from the center pull, I could straighten it out. I was so proud of myself. If that happened in the shop, it would be a different story and we'd be cutting things. Or I'd be letting you do it. But I was like, I can do this. And I kept breathing and I had patience.
Just keep breathing.
And that's why my morning meditation got up around 10 or 10:30. But this was a saga today. But it's also nice and loose. This is, we've had a few knitters ask about double winding yarn, like winding it onto your winder and then winding it again to give it a little bit more space. This is lovely and fluffy right now compared to what it usually is. But we don't have time in the shop and I'm a lazy bum when it comes to winding. So, I'm an overachiever in terms of my projects, but I'm a lazy bum when it comes to like winding a yarn, winding something twice. What?
I just handball at home. So I'm not going to rewind it because it's not going to get looser or tighter. It's just going to be rewound.
Right. So. Exactly. So, here, I'm going to show my other two projects and then we probably should call it quits so we can go to bed and survive the day tomorrow. Right. Yes. I'm looking at time. I forget exactly when we started, but we've been going for at least half an hour, maybe.
Could be. Yeah.
I still have two more projects, not as many stories, but I'm
just here.
Okay. Another project. This is one I worked on. It was a morning meditation this week. And then I went, I want to keep working on it. My Viking woman shawl.
Yeah. I got a picture of it. It's so pretty.
People have seen all this part. And then the snowflake part was part of my morning meditation. And I just finally ran out of the first skein of this tangerine color with heritage silk. No, not heritage silk. That was the last project. Mayu lace, thank you. That has silk in it. It is alpaca and cashmere and silk, and I'm double stranding it. But a 50-gram skein, double stranded, got me this section, holding it double. One strand held with the one strand of blue, the flecky colors in here, and then most of this snowflake section before it ran out, which is pretty cool.
That is like super awesome.
It was right here. I started a color work section I'm about to show y'all, but it was right in that I had to start a new skein. And this is the color work I'm doing. Isn't that pretty?
It looks so cool.
So the pattern actually stops, like if you're following, if it's a choose your own adventure kind of thing, but if you want to follow her adventure, it stops right where the snowflakes is, and it does these diamond scales. I call them dragon scales. These little diamond things on the side go across the top too. But she gives you the option if you want to try some stranded color work like this. She gives you the charts for it. And so I was like, ooh, because I'm gonna have to start a new skein of the tangerine anyway. Why not make this bigger? Because right now it is the long side of it for this, you know, getting bigger part, right? Is still, I want to say, I think this is a 40-inch needle that I'm on, but
Yeah.
it's just, so it's only 30 inches or so across because these tips are what make it 40. So I was like, I can keep going. I still have like a bunch, hang on a sec. I still have a bunch of the blue left that I'm holding double too. So I want to maximize my yarn usage. If I'm using 3 skeins of this Mayu lace, it's like $30+ a skein. I'm cracking into a new one and I still have some blue left. I want to use up as much of it as I can. So I'm planning on doing these little trees, which I have just finished. I want to put a couple rows of tangerine, maybe at least 4. And then I want to do some little deer because she gave me the pattern has some charts for little deer. And oh my gosh, I finally went for a walk today around my neighborhood. I haven't gone for a walk in a long time. I'm trying self-care, and self-care is hard.
Yeah.
That involved taking a hot, sweaty walk today. But I came across so many deer. Like, I feel like, I mean, I'm kind of making it up, but I'm kind of designating deer as my guardian angels right now, a little bit. And the first set of deer I came across as I was walking around the loop, the smaller loop of my neighborhood, they didn't run away. Well, the deer, I would say that's miraculous and it's a sign, but the deer around here are not afraid of people and cars. They're just not. But they were on the other side of the road and they just kind of stared at me as I went by, and I was like, hello, how are you doing today? And then another part of my walk, I got scared because a fawn got scared by me, and he was, all I saw was his butt running away, right? And then I did the same little loop again at the end and got startled by an adult deer who was startled by me, who then just stopped and stared at me. So I definitely want to put some prancing deer butts in this with the rest of the deer, not just their butts.
That would look really cool.
I think
and it would add a little bit of extra to the
yeah, I think I'm going to I'm looking up because I took some pictures. I'm going to see if they show up. I can show y'all. But I think I'm going to do some dancing deer. And then I'm also going to do another row of those trees because they didn't take that many, you know, so it'll be like deer between the trees, kind of. So let's see. I'm going to zoom in on this guy. Photos always make things seem further away than they are. You know that? It's like a telephoto lens all the time. So here is one of the deer.
Oh,
that was the one that got scared, but then just stared at me. I did not take a picture of the fawn because it was just his butt. But another kind of butt. This it might be harder to see, but there's 2 or 3 deer in this picture.
Oh, cool.
They were across the street from me. The first one was, he was on the same side as me, but he was just down someone's driveway. And hi, I guess I moved the things you were sleeping on. I'm sorry. But there was one in the yard yesterday. I think it was like not far away from the cat, but the cat was in a sunspot staring at me. And I'm like, you're missing the deer. What are you doing? You're missing the deer.
Abby's like, yeah.
He's gonna plop on my mohair sweater now because
it's a good ploppy place.
Okay, I have to take a picture of this and show y'all. Current situation. I have to do it with this hand so he doesn't bite me.
Oh.
The sweater I just showed y'all. He's like, oh, good, something soft to sit on. Okay, I have one more project. And then we can let y'all go for the night, morning, whenever you are watching this. Hi, what's up? He probably thinks it's time for second dinner. That's probably what's going on.
Well, you know, he knows the voices when we get done with
yeah.
knitting.
All right, this one I gotta back up for anyway. This one I should have started part 8 for tonight, so it can be morning meditation tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to do some stitching while I'm waiting for my laundry load to dry. It took me, I got it done yesterday, part 7 of my crochet along. And I'll show you up close. The little do.
It's so cute.
The tulips, the setup for the tulips, and the petals up above the tulips were part 7. But they go from here on out. I think everything is I can't back up far enough to show it all. I'm gonna try.
No, don't back up that far.
What?
Don't back up
falling
that far.
over the loft. There's a wall right here. I have to go there.
It makes me nervous.
I'm nowhere near. Look, wall behind me, not open air. Okay.
Okay.
That's as close as I can get to showing this all off.
That's about as big as we can see the whole.
There, I can. Yeah, I'm looking. Yep. I'm looking through one of the whole. See, there's my nose. Can you see my nose?
Vaguely. I'm having a hard time, like, because my picture of you is so tiny, but I can tell there's a top and a bottom there.
I'm looking through one of the holes so I can tell that the whole thing's in the camera, basically.
Yeah.
I think all the final stages of this are just going around the outside, the whole entire outside of this. So, like, there's my nose. Yeah, so it's looking wonderful. And we've had people saying, ooh, I want to make the same one as yours. And first of all, be prepared to spend a lot of money on a butt ton of yarn, but I will help you out with that. But the bigger issue is, if you want to do these yarns specifically, is by my calculations, it's going to take me 6 skeins of the gray. What is it, like 4 skeins of, I want to say the pink, and maybe at least 3 skeins of the blue.
Yeah.
And after I'm done with it, we might only have 2 or 3 skeins of the gray in the shop. And I've tried to order more, and it's back ordered, both the blue and the gray. Of course, I pick colors that once I get going, then they're on back order.
I wonder if they're back ordered because everybody's seen your colors.
I think the pigeon, which is the gray, Kitty, don't knock my light off. I think the pigeon was on back order before anyway.
Okay.
I'd like to think I'm that important, but I don't think so. But and this is the gray and the blue are Jody Long Alba, which is an alpaca wool and like viscose blend, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have the tag here because I'm at home. Hi. Woo. Saying hi to the cat. So, and then the pink, and we could get you one that's all the pink is Juniper Moon Patagonia, which is just 100% organic merino. And we could totally find someone a color combo of just the Patagonia, but it's the same number of skeins.
Have a same number of yards and skeins.
Yes.
On each. Yeah. We have a similar gray in the Patagonia, but the blue is different.
Yeah, we couldn't get you matchy. We could get you close. You'd have to pick out something other than the blue. This is my 3rd ball of the Alba, and I would say I'm probably about a third of the way through it. I have just hit my 2nd skein of the Patagonia, and then I've just hit my 2nd skein of the blue Alba as well, in what I've done. So until I'm done, I'm not going to know if her yardage estimates, because she had estimates based on a couple different samples that were crocheted. And one of the samples took 2,200 yards of color A, which is my gray. And one of the other people's samples took 3,200 yards. I'm again pausing because the cat keeps stretching out and he's almost knocking my light off the back.
Oh, no.
And that's a big difference, 2,200
Yeah.
to 3,200 yards. So I don't know which one's right or which one's going to be me. And everybody crochets looser and tighter than other people. So it is but the other thing is, it's about, on both of those samples, it was about the same amount of colors B and C. So it wasn't like someone's gauge was just crazy different than someone else's. I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm about to start section 8. And I'm pretty sure there are 14. Like she's releasing a section a week. And it's not that all weeks have the same amount of crocheting in them. She piled a bunch, she piled like sections 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 into 1 week because it was something that a lot of her followers have done before. I had to capture that on film too. I just love taking photos of my kitty. What can I say? There he is.
Not a thing.
Take my photo, you know.
Oh.
But that white box behind him, behind his butt, is where the light is, and he keeps pushing it further and further. He's watching my hands now, like, what are you doing? Yeah. Anyway, so I have to maybe try to get a little bit of this done tonight so it can be morning meditation tomorrow. Because what I'm trying to do, the only way I feel like I can stay on top of the steps of this crochet along with the amount of craziness we have going on at the shop right now.
Yeah.
Is to make it morning meditation every other day. So it's cutting down how much work I'm actually getting done on anything else I'm doing right now. But I also feel like I owe crochet a little more time. It's all the same project, but she's throwing a lot of different stitches in there. So it's kind of fun. But it is like my other crochet projects are getting sidelined. What?
It has some fantastic stitches that are just fun.
Like the center flower here had a bunch of like triple crochet clusters and things, and there are some chain things that are made into flowers by the next row or two creates this kind of stuff. It's got back post things that make ridges. It has these little guys, which are the same as the tulips up top, are popcorn stitches. But there's also clusters and puff stitches in here. Oh, there's the puff stitches. These, let's see. I'm trying to get close to you guys without making the cat freak out at me. Right in here, we've got some puff stitches. Hi. These flowers were made over 2 different rows of doing some fun clusters. There's so much fun texture in this. And apparently she has done other ones. This is Charlotte's Universe. She's done other universe type ones that are big giant crochet alongs. And this is a free pattern. This is like, you have to go on her blog. And she's only releasing certain things at certain times. This is the closest I've ever done to doing like a crochet along. It is a crochet along, but like I haven't hosted crochet alongs at the shop or knit alongs because there's a little bit of like trying to organize and get everyone on the same page and interested is not my forte. And people are watching this and they're going, ooh, but they haven't been doing it from the beginning. So
we have a lot of people doing crochet alongs and knit alongs, and they're all different ones. Like, you know, people come in and go, oh, I need to get my yarn for this knit or crochet along. And it's like, oh, it's another one. There are so many actually going on at different times that
so to try to get
it's hard to plan
our
one
customers like behind one of them, or I think I tried that when the shop first opened and people were like, meh. And it could have been because the shop had just opened and we didn't have a following yet. I don't know. But if someone knows of one coming up and they want to see if we can get organized behind it, that's awesome. But this is the only one I've been able to keep up with. I actually have, ooh, this is fun. Hang on, I'm gonna go grab it. I was cleaning the other day.
Uh-huh.
Hi, what? And I came across a mystery knit along that I started when the shop first opened that I never finished.
What?
It has its own project bag and everything.
Amazing.
It's one of my yarn snob bags. Look.
Ooh.
I don't even remember what colors what. This was there's a lot of yarn in here, Liz. This was Andrea Mowry's What the Fade. And it was brioche. And it was fantastic. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Look at this. It's so exciting. And I was like, let's do it all together, because so many people, when this came out when the shop first opened, and all these people were like fascinated by brioche and asking me to teach it, mainly because all these projects were coming out involving brioche. And so, oh, this has some crazy fuzziness and potentially some drop stitches in it.
Oh no.
I think the cat got this. So I may not ever be finishing this. The yarn that's in this may go into some minion bags of mystery at some point. Maybe I should bring it into the shop. But it was supposed to like fade through all of these colors. And this is how you do a fade. But you do the stripies. But if they're really, really different colors, they're not going to gently fade. But when you're brioching with two colors, the sides look totally different. And I was so gung-ho about this. And like only one or two other people even tried with me from our shop. Lots of people did it. Yeah. And I kind of gave up on trying to organize stuff like that. People come back to me now and they're like, we should do a knit along. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. Sometimes I don't have the energy, but I find this a lot more. I'll be doing a project and some people will want to do it with me, but we have so many people who want to do different things.
We've done a couple other knit alongs. I did a Lord of the Rings Fire and Ice knit along, and I
did the Hamilton one, but again, I didn't finish it.
Rebecca.
It's here somewhere. I don't know. That's the problem. I'm determined to finish this crochet along as long as I have enough yarn for it. I might run out of yarn, but I'm really trying to keep up with this one.
The hard thing is continuing, like the clues come out, and if you're working on just that, you have enough time to get it done. But the problem is you have a lot of other projects for the shop. Like it's not just that you're not a monogamous knitter. I mean, neither of us are, but
well, and I mean, I didn't start this one intending to sell a lot of yarn for people to do it, because it takes a lot of yarn. Like to buy the yarn that I'm making it from, if we even had enough of the colors you want to make it in, I crunched the numbers, would probably be about $260 worth of yarn. And you disappeared, Liz.
I'm sorry, my mom called.
It's okay. You can hopefully call her back.
Called again. Hold on.
Do you need to text her and make sure it's not an emergency?
It's not an emergency. Okay. I will call her back in a second when we get off.
Yes, well, we should be wrapping up anyway. But if you want to make it out of my yarn, the yarn I chose, just saying, ooh, this would be pretty, knowing it would be kind of expensive. It's like $260. And we helped someone this week make a combo from Bamboo Pop, which is like $8 or $9 a skein. But it's gonna take her what, like 16 or 18 skeins?
And it's 4 pounds worth of yarn.
Yeah, we mailed her a butt ton of yarn. And that, I think the yarn alone was gonna run about $160 or so. And I mean, but again, the pattern's free. Keep that in mind. And we were crunching the numbers on a lot of the more cost-effective yarns we have in the shop, meaning they have a lot of acrylic in them. And even those, the amount of yarn you're going to need for this thing was still going to run you at least $100, if not more. And so of what we have in the shop, it's going to add up.
It's Afghan quantities of yarn because, oh wait, it's an Afghan and it's crochet. Like,
and crochet eats up a lot of yarn.
Yeah.
So, all right, we should wrap up. My eyes are getting tired. We should wrap, and I have to go crochet more. Yay! We should wrap up so that we can be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning, supposedly, and I can do some laundry and maybe crochet. We'll see. But that's where our projects are right now, or that's all we have progress to show you all on our projects. Come to Knit Night. Give us things to talk about on Thursday. Subscribe because we're up to what, Liz?
583.
Little by little, our numbers are growing. And y'all know, if you're a regular watcher, that when we get to 600, we will offer YouTube only a sale. So help us get there. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell if you want alerts. The little things that looks like a ringy bell. And if you want to go in whole hog, then you can go over to patreon.com and support us there, become a patron of ours. We put all their names at the end of our episodes. And what else, Liz? We have other things? Like it. At least like the episode.
Like it, comment, ring the bell, subscribe, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff to make the algorithmic, technological, things like us more. If you like us, help YouTube like us now. We'll be back on Wednesday. Oh, I was about to say tomorrow, and I'm like, no, we're filming this on Monday.
Yeah.
But you can watch it on Tuesday, and then you can see us on Wednesday and Thursday too. So we love you guys. We miss you. We love when you come to visit. If you come to visit and give us enough of a heads up, like Anne, like she signed up for an appointment. You don't need an appointment to come into the shop anymore, but we try to regulate traffic flow. But if you sign up for an appointment, it's a guaranteed time in the shop, and we can let other knit nighters know that you're coming. Or YouTubers, if you say, hey, I watched you on YouTube. If you want other people to welcome you because they will hang outside the shop, then let us know. So anyway, you got anything else, Liz? I got yarn fuzzies. Why do I have yarn fuzzies?
No, I'm good because you're in yarn fuzzy territory with.
Yeah, I am kind of surrounded by yarn right down here.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you all on Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.